To flick or not to flick? That is the question. No, seriously, like that's the question that you guys asked me. And the reason is probably that you see me using both methods in several of my videos. I tend to go back and forth, and it probably seems like, what is the rhyme or reason? And the answer is, it all boils down to preference. Because no matter if you're using soft, firm, and hard sugar, you can use it with the flicking method and with strips. Let me explain. Here, I have soft sugar and I have firm sugar. Which type that you use is going to be based on your climate and your hair type, but I already have a video on that, so I'll link it up here and in the description box. So what makes them different is that they all have different consistencies. As you will see with the soft sugar, when I press into it, it is very soft. So soft, in fact, that it is sticking to my fingers. This is very sticky, which is not an adjective I often use when describing the differences because it can be misleading. And what I mean by that is that this firm sugar I also can press into, but as you can see, my finger comes out clean. However, this is also sticky. So the reason this happens is because at room temperature, your sugar will be at its true consistency. Therefore, this firm paste is exactly that. It stays firm. Despite this very aggressive movement, please tell me if I've lost you. But sugaring is just one of the things that doesn't make sense until it does. And the thing that helps the most is actually working with it and experiencing it for yourself. However, the only circumstance that will change the texture of your paste, and it should, is temperature. So when I actually go to use this paste, what changes the temperature is my body heat. Because we naturally sit around 98.6 degrees, and my apartment at least is around 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can tell that the sugar is starting to soften because the texture actually changes as I continue to mold it into my hair. And even more so when I continue to use it on a new section, because the more I work with this, more friction is created and therefore more heat, plus air bubbles. So now that sugar is most definitely sticking to my hands. So this is why you'll often see me in the comment section replying to concerns that, yeah, your sugar should be sticky. Tell me what else is going on, because I'm trying to ascertain whether or not you actually have a problem. And again, I'm trying to figure out how to best configure some type of landing page where your frequently asked questions can be answered on my blog. As you probably full well know by this point, I use Squarespace to make my life so much easier because there's templates for everything I need to do. I know I say this all the time, but whether you want to build your blog post or storefront or landing page completely from scratch, you can basically puzzle piece it together with all of the elements available to you. And in addition, you can even create a bio site, which is kind of a landing page for all of your social media platforms that can help people navigate quickly and easily. So if you haven't already signed up, you can get 10% off with my code abetweene, or go to squarespace.com/abetweene. So now that I've heated my sugar in the microwave, you can see that the texture has completely changed. Remember, if you do this step, you don't want to make your sugar hot, you want to make your sugar warm. So I only go for about 10 to 12 seconds for a container this size, and the temperature in the middle is actually much warmer than the outside. So set it aside for about 5 minutes before you attempt to put it on your skin. And it's even a good idea to test it before you actually apply it. Therefore, scoop a little bit out on a spoon or knife or applicator and then just touch it very gently and cautiously to your wrist because that skin is quite thin. So if it feels hot there, it's still too hot to use and you want to wait. If you see my other videos, you've seen me do this motion before, and this just keeps it on the spatula because if you keep your hand still, it will run. And again, you can see this is much different to the first time I scooped out a sample. But it's important to note it's still firm, so this is going to behave the same way. So it still has enough strength to grab the hair like it did the first time. And when I was talking about which technique you decide to use, really being preference, this is what I meant. You can apply sugar to a large area or the entire area and then quickly remove it with strips. Therefore, in my opinion, at least, this is very beginner friendly because then you don't have to worry about having to control a large golf-sized ball of sugar, which, as we've covered, can be quite sticky. So if you're not used to managing it, you might find it kind of tricky. And another advantage of using the strips is that you can reapply them, so you'll often see me use one strip for about 3 to 4 pulls before I have to grab another one. And I make my own strips out of cotton. I just wash them, which I also have a video on. So when it comes to using the flick or strip, these are all the things that you can take into account when considering which one you want to choose. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want more sugaring tips, don't forget to subscribe.